1832.org.
When you're in Colton or Fontana, don't miss the great local food stylings of Alexis Cafe. Open every day from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Discover 30 years of bringing our community the vibrant flavors of Mexico. In Colton, they're at 115 North Mount Vernon Avenue, just down the street from San Bernardino Valley College. When you go, tell them you heard on this radio station and say muchos gracias. You can find them online at alexiscafemexicangrill.com. That's alexiscafemexicangrill.com. This segment brought to you by Poncho's Kitchen and Mexican Restaurant in the heart of Highland at 29141 Baseline near Cole Avenue. Check out their Facebook and Instagram pages. Don't miss their happy hour Monday through Friday from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. We thank Poncho's Kitchen and Mexican Restaurant for their support.
Los Portales. You guys can find them in the city of San Bernardino, also in Colton. They have 2 locations you guys can find them at. They're open from 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. They also have their menudos Saturday and Sunday. You guys can come check them out. They also have a market inside as well, guys.
So you guys looking for some high quality meat, come to Los Portales in the city of San Bernardino. Plus on the weekends they have menudo, birria, and pozole. So if you guys want to get that good food, Los Portales, you can find them at 1208 West 5th Street in the city of San Bernardino, and they also have another location in the city of Colton.
All my life, been grinding all my life.
What up?
Sacrifice.
You are here with talking with Family Street Food. I am your host, Henry Perez, along with...
What's up, guys? This is Imagine Perez. You're here with Family Street Food. What is up, Inland Empire? You guys ready for today? Because we got some couple of special guests today, guys.
So before we get the show started, let me give a big shout out to our sponsors, Burger Point, where you can always go and get some good food. They have a double cheeseburger special for $4.99. That's my go-to burger. Plus, they have the combo for only $10, you guys, and they have breakfast and everything, dinner. So they got a lot to offer you guys. So if you guys are in a budget, go hit up Burger Point in the city of San Bernardino, right across from the Orange Show. Next up, we have Pizza, where every Wednesday try to make it a pizza night because they have $10 pizzas on Wednesdays, and yeah, you can't beat that price, you guys, especially with everything going up right now. Make it a pizza night on Wednesdays. And also, we have the Funk Night Market in the city of Colton. It's going down, you guys. It's getting bigger and bigger every Friday, and now they're open Saturdays too. Go check out the great food that they have. They have open mic, and my wife likes going over there. And want to tell them a little bit?
I do, actually. It's such a fun environment, actually, and so many dope artists there. So it's actually a cool place to be, and you learn a lot there. So many artists there, and not only that, we've seen kids performing as well. That was dope, just to see kids performing with their kids, and just alone the vendors there. You know, the more support, the better. And if anything, you know, if you guys can go out there, go support them, and the artists out there, you guys are gonna love it. That's why I like being there, just because, let alone like the environment there, it's awesome. You guys are missing out, guys.
Yeah, I love the food. Anyways, what a crazy weekend it was this week. We had our kids' first baseball team.
KKC, guys, they had their first game, and it was actually pretty awesome. I enjoyed every bit of it. We were screaming, rooting, and we were just hoping for the best, but it was hard. It was hard because the kids there, you want to yell and kick and scream. You feel like a kid there, but it was awesome.
Yeah, it was really cool to do that. And then we had our Easter event that finally went down this Sunday, and we gave away a lot of baskets to a lot of kids, and it was a successful event. Oh my God, there was just a lot of things that it was just beautiful to see the community come together. We were kind of nervous at first because we didn't see people, but little by little they started coming, and we got a good crowd, you guys. My wife was out there running back and forth and doing the most while I was just sitting down. And not just
Dun,
kidding.
dun, dun.
Just kidding. But yeah, you know, it was a successful event, and it's always beautiful to give a kid a smile just by giving them a basket. And you know, we
Yeah.
didn't have that growing up, so we tried to do the most for, especially on the west side of San Bernardino, you guys, because there's a lot of stuff that I remember growing up we had, and now they don't have it. So we try to fill up that gap.
Right. So more than anything, we're very appreciative of everybody coming out and coming to support. A big thank you to Virginia Marquez for coming out to support the event as well. We're grateful for everything. And we're grateful for the lowrider community for coming out and coming supporting us and being there with us, a part of us, you know, mom and pops for supporting us and being there. It was a dope event. We had the Easter Bunny out there. I know he was going crazy with the heat. He couldn't take it, but he pulled through with his basket.
And big shout out to Somos Familia, because they're another car club that's always been there for us when we do these events.
And DJ Ronald, of course.
Okay, so let's get this show started.
You ready to introduce him?
Yeah.
I don't think they're ready.
So we have two special guests today, guys.
You guys ready?
Yes. 100% right here.
Let's start off with introduce yourself, your name, and what do you do?
Just no social, no numbers, please.
Hello, everyone. My name is Martin Murillo. Also go by the name of Triple M. I do own my own business called CMOS, as well as a performer artist with rap. But it's nice to be here with you guys. Appreciate the opportunity and ready for a nice show.
Nice to have you. Nice to have you. And then we have
Yes. This is Ephraim with Empire Arts. You know, just bringing art to the community. And what we're about is just bringing a lot of artwork, a lot of people's vision to pass. We enjoy just working with the community and doing a lot of murals and sign painting, a lot of hand-painted artwork. So, yes, that's what we do. And this is Ephraim once again.
Wait, it's you and your wife, right?
Yes, my girlfriend, yes. She's,
Okay, because I
yes.
know that when we went, we seen two of you guys.
Yeah,
Right?
it was her. She was helping me paint. She's a great painter too. She paints lettering and stuff like that. So she's always got my back, you know, always helping out and just going into those areas where, like, oh, I'm gonna touch this up, I'm gonna cut this up, and she's very into. She's got the patience to paint. Not a lot of people have patience.
That's awesome. That's
to
awesome.
focus
Teamwork,
on
right?
this.
Teamwork.
Yes, teamwork.
That's dope. That's dope.
Yes.
All right, guys. So we're gonna get into it a little bit about how they started and where they are now. So we're gonna get into it with a little bit and see where they are now and why they are where they are now and how hard it was for them. So we'll start off with Martin.
So when I first started, it was back in 2020. The reason why I got into CMOS was because I had contracted COVID at that time. And I had a really good friend tell me to look into CMOS because of the mucus relief effects that it can possibly help with. So then I started taking it, and I started to notice little by little the effects that it was helping me get through. I then found a supplier that I was purchasing from. Then from that, my family and friends, they all noticed, like, what are you taking? Like, you seem like you're getting better. What is it, a new supplement? And I started telling them it's about CMOS. So then I started buying it for them as well. And then all of a sudden, the company that I was buying it from, I guess their supplier, they couldn't get it no more.
Oh, wow.
So then at that time, I decided to go look for a supplier myself to start making the product. And then the first individuals that I was helping purchase for the other company end up being my first customers and helping me launch what I have today.
That's dope.
So when you said, because you said right now effects, so you started seeing results basically,
Yes.
right? And there were good results.
Yes, sir.
And from there, did you study more about it and see what it did to the body?
Yes. Yeah, so I started looking more into it as far as like what kind of minerals it contained, what other effects or benefits it did have. And it was all natural, but I had to make sure that I got the correct CMOS because there is some where it's not real, it's like pool grown. But mine I did source from St. Lucia, so it's from the protected waters out there. and they pick it straight from the bottom of the ocean because it's a sea vegetable.
Okay.
Then I started doing more research on it, messing around with recipes. I'm trying it out with my family, and then everything that I have today came from that.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I've had sea moss before. It wasn't for me. It wasn't my cup of tea. It kind of had like a bitter taste. Just alone, I felt like it was a little too much for me. So what's the difference with this one?
So this one, I don't use no preservatives, no additives. All I use is alkaline water, the sea moss. I do use ashwagandha powder, which is very good for the stress on the body. And then I sweeten it with raw honey. But I did have a lot of customers and the voice of the consumer saying that they also had a little bit of issues with trying other companies as far as the thickness or the fishy taste.
Right.
So I make mine's more like a applesauce consistency, but it's really good. Even the original, like I was telling Henry, it doesn't taste bad. It's just no flavor. So it's just like the honey, you'll taste the sweetener. But yeah, a lot of my customers said that they really love the taste, which then brings them to moving from one company to try, and then they end up sticking with my company.
That's amazing, bro. But one thing I'm gonna tell you, she never told me she didn't like it. She made me do it.
Yeah, he's my guinea pig, guys.
No, see, and that's messed up because at the time I was big and she was helping me. I ain't gonna lie, she was helping me, but she was forcing me to do something I didn't, you know. But hey, I got used to it. Like you said, you know how you said you got used to. I got used to that one, and I was doing it every morning, just taking it because at the time I wanted to see results. I really did. So now, like, I'm excited to try your product. I ain't gonna lie, I'm very excited because now that I have lost the weight, I do want. I mean, I have a lot of energy, but I want to see different results. And
yes, sir.
If you're saying all that it does all that, I'm excited for it because I do want to be healthy and I do want to keep having energy and to get through my day. So instead of drinking the coffee,
just know you're not going to be the Flash. Okay.
You know, I had tried it before, and like I was telling you, I had tried it before, and a friend of mine used to make it. And my dad suffered a lot from like diabetes, and like he was just very weak in his knees and all that. And I started getting it for him through a friend of mine, and man, it helped him out with his digestive system. Like, it just started like helping him out. I personally didn't like it just because of the texture. It was just different. You say yours is kind of more like an apple side texture, but this one was very like thick and very like it was kind of like a Jello. But the taste was just something you just had to like tough it up. But you know what? I couldn't hang with this, so I gave it all to him. I was like, "Here, Dad, you take it. Take all these scoops." But it helped him out.
Hey, but
he just didn't.
To be honest, a lot of stuff that's healthy for you, it's not always gonna taste good.
that's true.
We're used to the steak and the chicken.
Right.
Like let it taste more like something like that. But it's something that our bodies are not used to. That's why we're like, it's not. But I think that the more we take it, like he said, it eventually goes away.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with me. When you first eat lamb, you're not gonna like it. You see a
especially
nice,
'cause you have to taste it.
you see a nice steak, and you're like, oh yeah, but and then you get that bite, and then you get the aftertaste, like, oh, this is not.
What is it?
You know what I mean?
Right.
It's something that our bodies are not used to.
Yeah.
But hey, I'm down for this. Right
I think it's just being consistent, and eventually you'll adapt to it, and you'll start getting used to it. I'm sure.
Yeah.
Just like everything else, like you said, it's like the good things that are for you, is like we don't like them, but the bad things is what we love.
Right.
That's what we gravitate towards. Like.
Well, let's introduce you and let's get to know you a little more.
Cool. Well, like I said, my name is Efren, and I'm with just started my Empire Arts business just like officially like about 3 years now. But I've been doing it since I was a kid, just
you're
always,
a tagger.
Oh yeah. I come from that graffiti background. I grew up as a kid. That's what since I was I think I picked up my first can. I think when I was like 10 years old, and I went to go tag my elementary school, and ever since then, man, I just fell in love with the graffiti aspect of it, and I started learning it and just kind of going out there and writing on everything that I wasn't supposed to. And as a matter of fact, when I was I think I was like 15 years old, and I met a friend of mine from here, from Rialto. His dad used to work for the Santa Fe Railroads over there in downtown LA. And I met him because we were tagging on the train, and he came over and he was like, "What's up, man?" And we got together. And next thing you know, I used to travel all the way out here just to paint on trains and everything, you know.
Yeah.
And I was 15 years old, you know, coming out here.
Yeah.
And that's how I found out about Rialto when there was. I remember it was a Kmart, and we used to go there, man. It was just. But you know, I started off as graffiti, just evolving to that, you know, and just being around that whole graffiti life where that's just where I felt comfortable. You know, it wasn't about the gangs. Yeah, I associated with a lot of gangs, you know, but I gravitated more towards the graffiti because that was just art. You know, I was that little kid in that classroom way in the back just drawing and not even paying attention, you know, always. But my little book had all kinds of artwork and bubble letters and everything, right?
Yeah.
And you know, as the years went by, man, I just kind of I started doing it more and more and just kind of got into it, you know, getting in trouble, man, just doing a lot of community service, stuff like that, you know, and but I always had a passion for painting on canvases. Like I was doing a lot of abstract work. I love abstract because it's just a sense of like there's no rules, regulations. You just paint what's on your mind, what's on your heart, you know, just throw it out there with a bunch of colors. And I started just kind of evolving into doing more detail work. You know, I started
Nice.
I think it was about 3 years ago, almost 3 years ago, when I first landed my first job at a restaurant here in Fontana. And I had moved from LA. I lived everywhere in LA. I went to 7 different high schools just because my parents were very unstable. So, you know, I grew up in Compton, I grew up in South Central, and then the city of Southgate, and then Downey, and then Huntington Park. I mean, we moved everywhere. So everywhere I went, I knew that every school that I went to, I knew where the graffiti artists were. So I kept leaning towards that instead of the gang life.
Yeah.
Like that. So I landed, you know, I knew where the taggers were, where the graffiti artists were. So I started leaning on that. And that's kind of like where I picked it up, you know, and throughout the years, it just evolved into that. Now people wanted me to paint like things for their building or their, you know, just even sign painting. You know, I picked that up from a friend of mine. I used to go help him do a sign, all hand painted. And little did I know that I was gonna incorporate that into my business. So I do murals. We do murals and sign paintings, and so now we do a lot of artwork for the community. We do a lot of restaurants, office spaces. We do logos. We do a lot of like, just whatever their vision is. They just share with us, and you know, we'll put it onto a mock-up, and we just actually. You know, we'll present it, and I'm very visual, and I know people are very visual, so I always create something that I can make them see it for themselves on the wall before I paint it. Yeah. So that's pretty much what people like to see, and you know, just recently, you know, I live in Bloomington. I've been there for about 15 years, and I just recently started coming out here in San Bernardino, like on this side, just because I didn't have really no reason to, right? I mean, I would come over here just when they had the swap meet back, you know.
Oh yeah,
swap meet,
the night swap meet.
Yeah, so they brought it back. I heard. So I used to come out here, but I came out here recently to do the artwork where I met you at the KCC ballpark right there, the Little League. And man, just doing that art piece for that ballpark, it's man, I come to realize how people here are, man, they love this community, like San Bernardino's, like the history behind it, like, you know, I grew up all my life out there in LA, but I mean, just being here for those 15, 16 years, I really never got into the really history about it, you know, until recently I started painting, and man, I was out there painting, and people just driving by and stuff. Hey, thank you so much for brightening up the community.
Right.
Like they just need that, and you know, just me being out there. I mean, just people stopping by. You got, you know, people going to work. Even some of the workers from the city is like, man, thank you for doing that. I used to come here when I was a kid, and it feels good that we're making an impact in the community. Like that's what I'm about, is like bringing life to, you know, bringing some light into the community, you know, wherever I can. Good. And so right now, we actually have you know, I'm working with the city here with a few people that we're creating a cool mural for the city right here. So if you know, God willingly, everything goes right, you know, I really want to make an impact and do something for this community and brighten it up. And, you know, alongside with everyone, you know, like my kids and my girlfriend, you know, just to be a part of it and be an impact in this community. So
I-
we have a lot
I-
of stuff going on.
I think that's cool, man. And one thing I'm gonna tell you, when you give love to San Bernardino,
They give it back.
they give it back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And that's something we learned because we try to keep going with the stuff that we do. But when I seen your first video, I believe, I saw, oh wow, it got attention.
Yeah.
And it's
Right.
because the community sees and they see the work that you were doing, and it's
Yeah.
like not anybody comes over here and does something like that.
Yeah.
A lot of
that's
people
true.
are scared to come out here because the narrative that San Bernardino has.
Yeah.
But understand, it's more of a talk. They're not here to actually be part of the history that we
Yeah.
have going on here, right? And it's beautiful. You can walk out here, you can have a good time. It's not what everybody says. And you
Yes.
making a difference here by putting your mural out there, you don't know how much that means to everybody here.
Yeah, and just from doing that, I've gotten a lot of Instagram direct messages like, man, thank you. I see what you're doing out there.
Right.
Man, that's dope, man. Keep doing it, man. Bring some more stuff that we need it here.
Yeah,
And it's like,
Definitely.
man,
Definitely.
that's what I'm here for, And it's even if I could somehow get involved the youth too,
Yeah.
because the youth needs it more than anything. Like,
Right.
there's a lot of very talented youth out there that. I mean, I was that kid, that I didn't have no direction. I didn't have no resources on where to, establish my art. So I found it in, in graffiti and stuff like that.
Right.
But there's kids out there that if you teach them or they find someone that could guide them and say, hey, you could put your artwork to this scale on the wall and maybe create a business for themselves or, make some, make an impact in their community.
I think if you were to be their mentor and help them,
Yeah.
that would go a long way for them because we work with a lot of them and they're misunderstood.
Yeah.
Right? So a lot of them just want to be understood and it goes by what you do. Right?
Right.
They're into art, but to other people that's not art, right?
Right.
Yeah, I get it. If you're tagging, you're
Yeah.
doing all this and that you're not supposed to, maybe with having a mentor guiding them,
Yes.
it would go a long way for them, right? And
Yeah.
things can change. It's just, again, we got to be the one to prove to them stuff can change.
Yeah.
We can do it together as a family because that's what we are out here in San Bernardino. We're a family, right?
Yes.
We like to help each other and push each other and try to do as much as we can together because if we can do so much more, we're making noise,
Yes,
right?
exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's what we want. We want to make noise here and let everybody know. No, just because you went through one thing doesn't mean that it's all of San Bernardino.
Right. It's not. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and your story, honestly, it's kind of familiar with what I went through, man. I lived out there in LA, in Compton, South
Yeah.
Central, and I was into the same thing. It's just that now it's you have I don't understand this art. This art's where it escalated so
Yeah.
much that I'm like, hey, look what I did, and I'm like, I can't even read that, bro.
Yeah.
You got all kinds of, like, I'm used to, I'm from the 80s, so I'm used to the bubbles and
Yeah.
the bubble shaped letters and all that stuff,
Yeah. No. Yeah.
That old school tagging.
No, he was the
now-
one that was putting the lines to make the old school lettering.
Yeah, now it's just advanced, bro. It's like,
Yeah, no, it's a creativity. I mean, a lot of these people, they just elevate so quick too, and
Yeah.
and it's that talent that they have. For me, it's I still do a lot of lettering, but my lettering is like, it's kind of like if you told me do something like more modern. My letters still look from like the early '90s and stuff, because I just keep them up like that. That's just how
Yeah.
they're in me, but it's just like recently we did I just want to share, we did a school at Slover Mountain High School, right there in Bloomington, and my son actually, he went in there and talked to the principal and gave him a business card, and he landed that job. But I went in there and I told him, yeah, I'll paint this mural. I did a couple of murals in there, me and my son, and I told him, I go, can you guys get the kids out here and get them involved? And man, there was about 10 kids out there just painting with us, and super cool because a lot of them were like they were just filling in letters and they seem like such a natural, but with some guidance, and
Right.
you could teach them in different areas.
100%.
and that's the thing, exactly what you just said, man. What sometimes if somebody had a platform where they can come and say, hey, we're gonna do this on this wall,
Yes.
and then have them there because a lot of them, they're very talented, man.
Yes.
It's
Right.
just that they don't know because all they know is the streets.
Yeah.
And to put it out there, like they don't know that, hey, somebody will hire you, man, if you could do a design like that, but make it say the school name or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
But they don't know that. Nobody's gonna tell them that.
No.
Yeah, and that's where we come in. You know, as we
Exactly.
already lived it, been there, done that. I mean, I believe that you know, God put us here on earth for a reason. It's whatever we have, that gift that He gave us,
Yeah.
we have to share it to the world. Like,
Right.
we have to share. It's our job to say, hey, man, you know what? I'm an artist. You're a mechanic. You're an electrician. You know, make an impact to other people.
Yeah.
Share them your
Right.
gift, so that way they could evolve in their gift. You know, and I just believe that. Just like that school we're painting, one of the kids came up to me. He said, "Hey, do you think we could put I could put my name on it, just with a small?" I go, "No, you know what? We'll do a roll call. We'll put all the kids' names."
That were involved.
Yeah, and I
That's
put
cool.
I think it's about 7 or 8 names up there. And for them, it's like, you know, they get to come probably whenever they get married, have kids. They're gonna come here and say,
Yeah.
"Son, I painted some of that."
Yeah,
you know,
Right.
like isn't that an impact?
Something,
Like,
something
yeah.
they can be proud
Right.
of and say,
Yeah.
hey,
Exactly.
you know, I did that. And then not just that, but tell their kid, like, hey,
Yeah.
I did that. I was there.
Right.
And
Right.
that's what you need to understand. When you were doing the mural on the KKC park and
Yeah.
people were hey, man, I played baseball in that park when I was little.
Yeah.
And for
Right.
you to be doing that, that means a lot
Yeah.
to me
Yes.
because
Right.
now my kids get to see that park and see your
Oh,
art
man.
and
Yeah.
be proud, like, hey, man, I played
Yes.
baseball here.
Right.
You
You know,
know?
when I was up there painting the flag, some guy was sitting in the truck and he was just taking pictures. I'm like, "What's up?" And he was like, he pulled over all the way to the side, you know, on the opposite side, and he was like, "Man, thank you, bro. Like, man, you don't know how many nights me and my parents stayed here playing baseball, and I remember like the field, the home base was on the other side, and this guy must have been, I don't know, maybe like 60-some years old, and he's still like feeling emotionally like that we're
Yeah.
lifting up or you know." Everyone, like, you know, Ben out there, you know, doing all the work and
Right.
and uplifting that park,
That
and
park.
and people still live around there, and it's like, to
Yeah.
me, it's like, man, that's
And let's
like,
give a big shout out to Ben because
Yes,
he was out
Ben.
there Saturday and he was doing so much. We were shocked, and I felt so bad because he was in the heat and he's looking at us. Are you gonna help? Are you gonna help? And we're looking at him like, let's turn the other way.
No, I actually screamed at him like, "Good job, Ben! Don't tell me good job. Come and help." Like, if I knew what you were doing, I would go out there. But I didn't know. I
We
don't
felt
know
so
one
bad,
thing
but-
about you know. This is my first year having the kids in baseball.
Yeah.
Like I'm learning as I'm going. I'm
Yeah.
learning, and
yeah,
I'm,
huge
you know.
shout out to him because I
Right.
you know, I went there. He gave me the key to the gate. I would go there in the morning just to beat the heat, and you know, he'll show up, and then I'll be back at night, and he's still there, and it's like,
Right.
man, like,
Oh,
you
and
put in
he's
so
coming
much
from work.
Yeah,
doing
and
all
from
this.
work, yes.
So he's doing a lot for KKC, and for him to be there from day to night, it's a lot for him.
Yeah,
You know,
and shout
so-
out to him. And I mean, he's the reason why I'm here. You know, introduced me to Henry and
Yeah,
you guys.
he's
know,
a man of
so-
God.
Yes,
Man
amen.
of God.
Yes.
Well,
Yes, we're grateful for him because, you know, he does so much, especially because our kids are out there. And he's the one that told us about KKC, to have them out there. We were iffy about it, but then at the end, it became so much more for kids.
Right.
It became expensive.
Yeah.
And we're like, with these kids, we're going to go broke.
Yeah,
I hope one of them makes it.
All of them. All of them.
all of them. Yeah,
No, I mean they're all gonna make it, of course, but one of them's gonna be
Yeah.
to the, you know,
yeah.
to the Dodgers.
Just know that
man,
they're
the
hearing
Angels.
this and they're going to trip you for saying that.
Angels.
Yeah. They're gonna watch this like 15 years later. Like, see, we proved that wrong.
Right. Exactly,
Yes.
exactly.
Yeah.
I was the one saying they're all gonna make it. It was just dad guys.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, we're really grateful for everything, you know, and for all the stuff he does, especially for KKC. Their opening was really good to us.
Yes.
Wow, it was beautiful, and then just to have the painting there, it just felt like
Yeah.
you were proud. It
Yeah.
felt like we were so proud of everything there, and it was just a beautiful thing to be a part of. And especially like my husband said, it was our first time being part of it, and it felt beautiful. You know,
Yeah.
especially at San Bernardino. Come on, guys, it's
Yeah.
beautiful. A lot of people don't understand. You guys should come out and see stuff like this. You know, more than
Yeah.
anything, we don't want to say it. Come out. There's so many positive things out here. Like, we try to do as much as we can, but we really need to get together with both of you guys and do something together for the community,
collaborate
right?
on something,
So
yes.
it would be awesome, just alone what you're saying now, if we can get something going with having the youth come out and explaining to them about CMOS, explaining to them about art.
Yes.
That together, come on.
Yeah.
You know, it's a beautiful
that's really
thing.
Yeah, you could
you
win
know?
in life with that.
Right.
Yeah,
And then not
that.
only that, you're showing them you can be healthy and do art.
Yes.
Yeah.
You
That's
can't
true.
beat it.
And now, speaking of that, where can people buy your product, or do you do pop-ups, or how's that work?
So I do have a website, www.mmcmos.com. That's mmmcmos.com. I do delivery straight to your door. But I am as well as in pop-ups, a lot of farmers markets, different events. Just stay tuned to my Instagram. I do post, but they can order directly from my website and straight to their door.
So you don't do pop-ups at all, or?
We've been doing a lot of events with different markets, but right now I'm also in the process of we're trying to get with the California State Health Board because we're going to be one of the first CMOS companies in California to be fully licensed to sell retail. It's taking a little bit of time because there's really no regulations for it. So they're just taking things slow to make sure they gather all the necessary documents to make sure that everything is safe, guarded as far as how it's made, quality, make sure there's no toxins in it. So we submitted everything, so we're almost on the verge. They just told us the other day that they're just waiting, but there's also a few companies that submitted after us, but we're like at the top of the list.
That's awesome.
So it's really, really exciting right now.
So once you get that, what does that mean for you? What can you do?
That means that I'll be able to sell business to business, so in stores.
Nice.
That's what I was gonna get at. So that means I can go to my local liquor store and,
Yes.
I said liquor. My local market.
No, I don't know, guys. CMOS at the same time, guys. I don't know.
Because I was just thinking about the liquor store that's by the
No, he
house,
was trying
but-
to get a
I
drink
meant
at the
market,
same
guys. I
time.
meant market. So that means I can go to a market, and that's your goal, to have this
Yes.
inside of markets and sell. Oh wow, that'd
Any
be
local
awesome, bro.
businesses that would help out a lot,
Yeah.
especially a lot of people that try to get their hands on it. Just some people that do sell CMOS, it's pretty pricey. So more than anything, it is kind of hard to be healthy, because now that you're
Yes.
healthy, you would think it would be the cheapest, right? But you go to the store, you get a salad,
It's
it's like
expensive.
$20.
Yeah, it's
So you can't
expensive
even be
to eat
healthy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the hard part. It's hard. They tell you need to be healthy, you need to do this, you need to do that. You can't even do none of that because it's more
Yes.
expensive than eating out.
Right.
Yeah.
But
very
it's a good thing. It's a good thing that you're trying to push your product out there and help a lot of people out there. Be more healthy, be more aware of themselves,
Yes.
right? And it
No,
helps so
and the
much
thing
more.
is, if you believe in your product and if you believe in yourself, you're doing the steps that you need to take in order to get your product out there.
Yeah.
And,
Yes.
and that's awesome to see, because a lot of people don't have the will or the power to even do that because they
Yeah.
give up. They're like,
Yeah.
no, I don't want to go through. You just said it yourself. It's gonna
Because
take some time.
you do get
but you're okay with that.
hit a lot of obstacles, and sometimes it does get frustrating and it feels like you have like doubt, but
Yeah.
we just got to push through that, because if you
Yes.
know that your product is good and know that you're doing every necessary step that's needed to be taken, eventually something will work for it.
Yeah, yeah.
And also, I make everything in glass bottles. I don't use any plastic due to that glass is not permeable, so it doesn't hold any all those BPAs and all those stuff that leaches into your drinks.
Okay.
And it's a lot cleaner taste.
Yeah. And you were telling us you make this.
Yes.
That's all you right there.
Yeah, me and my team, we make it in the commercial kitchen in Temecula, California.
Oh, wow.
So everything.
Oh, so you do have a team.
Yes.
So shout out to your team, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, shout out to my business partner, Jay Maya. He's helped me a lot get everything established as far as the LLC.
Oh,
We're
wow.
going on
That's awesome.
3 years as to be an official LLC. It's
Oh,
been
wow.
a rough ride, but everything has been very interesting and fun. We did get the name trademarked, so I am trademarked with the United States of America for my CMOS brand.
Amen.
Yeah.
So that was a really good, big accomplishment for me, for myself.
Who thought of the
too.
name?
I did.
Because I thought it was just SEMA, but you kept saying, I was like,
Like good. Also a play on word to my rap name, because I also do music. So my rap name is Triple M.
Okay.
So that's where the 3M.
Oh,
Oh,
Yeah,
that makes sense
that
now.
makes
Okay,
sense.
wow.
But
And I was
this,
gonna get into that.
That makes sense.
I was gonna get into that right now. And besides CMOS, I see you do music.
Yes, sir.
And how long you been doing that?
I've been doing music since 2011. Officially since 2011.
Oh wow.
It's a long time.
Yeah.
I think that if we introduce him to MC Live, you guys
Definitely.
Will kick it off. You know, he was at the iHeart show this past
Nice.
weekend, and he's man, that guy.
He does a lot.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
he's a single parent. Oh, I don't know. Well,
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm sorry, guys. We didn't need to hear that.
He's
a great guy, though.
and,
More than anything,
we
he's
wish him
such a
nothing
great
but
guy.
the best, man. And
Yeah.
he's going to places, man.
Nice.
And
Yeah.
I think you guys would connect real good, man. And hopefully we can see you at the show on Friday, you know. And have
Definitely,
you
we
out
need to
there.
hear a little something.
Yeah.
Definitely. Or should we put you on the spot right now?
Oh,
Check 1 2 1 2.
Right. Too soon? Too
funny.
soon?
yeah. I just had a show this past Saturday in the city of Pomona.
Nice.
I got some more coming up soon.
What show was that? The name of the show?
It's called It's Time. It's with my team called Something Out of Nothing.
Oh, you guys did it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
So
cool.
we hosted the event.
I thought it was like cause I got invited to shows out there, but they're like car shows or pop-ups stuff
Yeah.
like that. I thought you were doing some of that. So you do shows too.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
dope.
Yeah,
man.
so if I get invited, I am on other people's shows, but we're trying to throw at least a team show every once a month. That was our goal this year, is to have at least one show, and it's like the in-house artist that's part of the team. So it's like a rock band. There's Christian Garridos, my
That's
rap.
And yours is Christian rap.
Yes.
That's something that if I would have known, I could have invited you to the event yesterday, and you could have,
Yeah.
Right.
something for the crowd,
Right.
or some, preach,
Yeah.
preach to the crowd, and
Next time, yeah.
that would have been nice.
Right. Especially because we had so many young people out there, and
Yeah.
they were out there talking to us as well. And they were telling us, like, how can we be more involved with you guys? We
Yeah.
were trying to change because, the background we have with our family, it's not good. We wish we can do so much more,
Yeah.
but it's hard when we don't have such a big team, right?
Yeah.
It's just us two. So it's hard, right? But the more people we can get, the better. Especially, like I said, with you guys, if they see it,
Yeah.
they'll believe it. Hey, there's a
Yes.
change at the end
Yeah.
of everything, right? Because I'm pretty sure your guys' background wasn't easy, right?
No, it's
Everything was hard for you guys to
Yes.
get to where you are, right?
Yes.
So
Very
it's
hard.
it's
Lot
completely
to-
different from what the new generation is now. It's not the same as what we are when
That's
we were
true.
growing up, right? It's a little more rougher because now I see that the youngins are disrespecting the older ones,
Yeah.
right? It's not the same.
It's
We were
different.
taught to never disrespect
Yeah.
the elders, and no matter if they were wrong, we would just
we were put in check by just a look.
Yeah.
That right there was like, wait till we get home. That was
Yeah.
it.
Right.
there.
Yeah.
Right.
And
no,
man,
and
you
there
were
was-
like, you were sitting on the chair like,
yeah, and
And
just
that-
like cussing up a storm in your head.
yeah,
and the whole time you're like, oh man, I don't want to go home, man.
yeah. Stay here longer, yeah.
Right. So that's why I'm saying, like, just alone, like, it's completely different now,
Yes.
but I'm glad that a lot of the people now are trying to change before they get to the point where either prison, jail,
Yes.
or anything, and that's something we try to do as much as we can. But again, it's hard, especially with the mayor. They need to do so much more for San Bernardino. They
Yeah.
say a lot, but there's not much going on here, right? And that's the hard part, because you can go door to door and say who you are, but being here is a different, especially on the west
That's
side,
true.
right?
Yep,
We live
yep.
on the west side, right? So it's hard out there. We've seen so many
Yeah.
families struggling, and a lot of people out there, especially youngins.
Yeah.
They're going through it now.
Yeah.
What are they doing?
Yeah.
Not enough, right?
Mhm.
And it's hard because why are we trying to make the change, right? We shouldn't be. Mayors out there, they should be doing
That's
the
true.
The ones
change,
that have
you know?
the resources, like the big resources.
Right,
you know?
and that's hard because we don't. We can only
Yes.
do as much as we can, and we enjoy doing everything.
Yes.
And this comes from our heart more than anything. We love supporting because we have 7 kids, guys,
Yeah.
and we're trying to
We
change.
didn't have no TV.
Oh my god!
There was no TV, no.
Oh my god!
Yeah, I come up from a family of 6. I'm one of 6 kids.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's why we're trying to change the narrative to our kids and teach them something they didn't teach us. 'Cause
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was raised in East LA, and what I know is something my kids shouldn't know, right? So, yeah, I had to change a lot of the narrative, me growing up and the neighborhoods and being around all that. I didn't want my kids to be part of any of that, right? And that was hard because what we grew up at, it's just all territories. We were in the middle of everything, right? And I had to change a lot of me to prove to them this is not who you have to be, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I've worked in warehouse for 25 years, and it's not a good place to be at either. It's more tougher than anything, you know what I mean? And my husband himself, he grew up even tougher. You know, he was out in the street. He was being a hoodlum, guys. So it was tougher for him.
I was my story is basically I'm from Salvador, and yeah, you know, grew up in LA, and you know, my dad divorced, and she thought that she was taking it all to the nicest places, but no, South Central LA, Compton, Watts, and finally I ended up in San Diego with my dad. Then I moved. I called San Bernardino home because San Bernardino is where I met my wife. I started my family. I got clean. Everything that I thought I would never have, I have it now. Like meaning a house, cars, all that stuff. Like, you know, I built with my wife, and I literally had nothing. I had a car. My wife didn't, you know, so we got together and we built an empire, man.
And you know, that's
good.
one of the things that we have to understand, that, you know, where we grew up in, that doesn't define us. It defines us now. Like the
Right.
changes that we've done in our life. Like, how can we show our kids, like you said, the impact that we're making just in our home?
Right.
You know, like for me, my biggest thing was, like, I went to 7 different high schools. Is like, I wanted to make sure that all my kids went to one school,
Right.
and got to be, you know, still my son's still friends with his, you know, elementary friends.
we
You know,
didn't have that.
and
Right.
I didn't have that. You know,
Right.
and for me, my daughters, they all went to elementary and they graduated. They all went through the same school. Like, they didn't have to, you know, bounce around and go through all these different schools.
Yeah.
But you know, and that's the changes that we have to make, and that's it's a, you know. It's not. It that doesn't define us, but we can make that change. You know, we have to be the you know, the ones that step up. Like you guys,
Right.
you guys are that big change. I'm sure a lot of your family members, like, man, you know, they're doing it. You know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and you know, you guys are doing it. Like you say, you know, we might not have all the resources to share everything and make that impact, but you guys are doing it now just by
Right.
doing this.
Yeah.
And going
Right.
out there, I've seen your videos. You guys are going out there, just you know, exposing more small businesses and all that.
That's
and,
Right.
good.
and you know, that's
Right.
good
Yeah.
because if, you know, you guys are going to be recognized for your labor. You know what you
Yes.
guys
Right. And that's what we say, the change starts now.
do. Yes.
Right? We don't want to wait. We're not going to wait around for nobody. Nobody to come out and help us. We're doing it now.
Right.
Right? And we've been doing this for years because, again, we didn't have nothing. We had our kids in a pushing cart.
Yeah.
We had no stroller, no nothing. We came from nothing. So we know the struggle, and the families that are out there,
Yes.
we understand it.
Yes.
We've been through it all. So the struggle we had back then made us tougher.
Yes.
We got tough skin now.
Yeah.
Before we didn't. I tell you that because it was tough. We had no family support. It was just us.
Right.
We had nothing. Now to be at the point where we are today and have built something together with
Yeah.
our grown kids now, it's crazy.
Yeah, that's
really good.
that's amazing.
You know, and
Yeah.
it's a story. It's a big story that one day my kids are gonna understand when they have their own.
Yes.
You
Yeah.
know, so it's always a good thing to be able to go through what you went through because you can sit back finally and damn,
Yeah.
like, I went through that. You know what I mean?
And that's
Yes,
what
yes.
made you guys today. It really did. I mean, I know that what I went through, yeah, it was some rough seasons in my life, but that's who made me. That's why I'm who I am today.
Yep.
You know,
Right.
because
Yeah,
if
you
it
ha-
wasn't
you-
for those times where,
Yeah.
you know, like I said before, like I could have been gone like years ago. You know, a couple of times I could have just been gone, dead.
Yeah.
But you know
Right.
what? There's a reason, a purpose why I'm here. I always say
Yes.
that. So today, let's live it out today. What can we do today? Because yesterday was gone, and
Correct.
tomorrow has his worries of his own. So we got to do what we need to do today. Like you said, like now, let's make a difference now.
Yes.
You know,
No,
I was at this office, and out in Anaheim, I was doing a mural, but this guy in his office, he had a picture frame of an alarm clock, but it didn't have numbers. It just said now. And
Right.
man, just looking at that is okay. What are you waiting for? 10 o'clock or maybe next week? But no, just do it now.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
kind of like where
It
I'm at.
was a thing that I used to work with this guy, and he's always used to be like, he was always complaining, but one day he said, close yet so far away. And I think that's how I take life, because it's just when you think you're close to reaching there's more to do.
Yeah.
There's more
obstacles.
So
Right.
as soon as you you think that you're getting close, no. There's still, you
No,
got a long
I think
way to
more than
go.
anything, I think it's just more God preparing you for what's to come,
Yeah.
right?
And that's what I was going to say. We had to go
exactly.
through what we had to go through to become who we are now.
Yes.
Right.
And the story of us is already written by God.
Yes.
Yes.
Right.
It's already written. So we're just
We're
now
just finishing
living
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're living it. So as
We have
for you too, you started a business and you study, and you didn't have to. You got the passion for it, and you're still pushing. And man, it's
Right.
gonna get you where you need to get.
The passion for this too, also because this was birthed out of pain and tragedy. Because in 2022, I actually lost my father to a tragic
I'm
murder, just a couple down streets down. But that made me really want to focus, and it drove me into wanting to learn, because he was my biggest supporter as far as my music. So he was always in the front row when I was on the TV shows, when I was at the big fairs performing. So I really know that he's with me, because everything has been in line, but I had to let go of fear and doubt. And once I crossed that threshold, it was everything started falling into place.
And and that's good, man, because sometimes what stops you is the fear.
Yeah,
It's
the fear.
of failing or whatever it might be, because I had the same thing. My wife was my biggest supporter. She was the one pushing me. Like, who cares? Just do it. Oh, and I'm like,
I tripped them
So,
one or
because-
twice.
no, because it's hard. There's times where I wanted to give up.
Yeah.
Like nobody's listening to me.
Yeah.
Nobody cares. And she would tell me that
Yeah.
just keep doing it. Just keep pushing. Who cares? Just do
Yeah.
it. And sure enough, I didn't think that us just doing videos, me and her, going out to eat and stuff like that, was gonna become anything.
Yeah.
Yes.
But look where we're at
Yeah.
now.
Right.
No, and it is
It
is
grows.
that effort that you put into it, and
Yes.
and the more that you work at it, sometimes it's gonna seem like, man, what am I doing? Like you want to throw in the towel or something, but
Right.
you got to keep pushing through those days. Like for me, it's been a 1 year, over a little bit of a year that I left my job. I was there for 27 years working for the same company, and
What company is that?
I was working for this company right here. They know why I left. I was preparing myself to leave, and
Yes.
they were really good to me for the 27 years that I was there. And now it is hard. Sometimes it's like, man, like, what am I doing? But you know what? God prepares you for this, because
Yes.
you have to have a really thick skin, and you got to understand
Yes.
that it's still entrepreneurship, that you have to understand that it's not for so many people. It's not for anybody that's
Yes.
weak. You have to
Yeah.
take it on and say, you know
Yeah,
what, we're
no.
doing it. And I just want to share that I got some I got this event coming up. This is it's for an autism awareness event. It's in the city of Pomona, and it's called Autism Acceptance Awareness. And man, that community is like, I go there and I teach kids how to design their own shirts, with
Right.
spray paint and stencils and all kinds of stuff.
That's
and
nice.
and that's kind of I've been doing it with a good friend of mine's. Rest in peace, Paul. He was the founder of Polly's Project, and now his whole family takes over it. It started in L.A. And they just do so many events, and they help out so many. They have so many resources, and I'll be there on April 18th. Just doing the same thing. I always go there and support it, and then just teaching kids. Getting them excited and teaching them how to make shirts, and it's one of my biggest things that I look forward to, because I don't know, I have a lot of patience. I could have patience for a lot of kids, and and especially autistic kids that they can't stay still, and I always find a way. And a lot of parents are like, man, you just have so much patience for for my kid or for my son.
That's a good thing because
it's
we
good.
have 2 autistic kids,
Yeah.
and that's very tough when a lot of people don't understand them, and they look at us like, you're not going to tell your
Yeah.
kid to relax. They don't
Yeah.
understand.
Yeah, no, they
know?
won't understand. And I've been around it for so much that it's just been something that I've been gravitating towards, is always making sure I support it. And and I just want to say, I have that one going on there. I got a few events coming up, and I just want to share that on April 18th. I have that one, the autism awareness event, and then the following day, which is April 19th, I'll be doing the iHeart Agave festival in Lido Creek. That's going to be painting live. And then for Father's Day, I got at the Way Church right here in San Bernardino.
yeah.
I'll be painting live for that event. A bunch of there's gonna be like a car show for Father's Day, and they're gonna have a lot of free food and stuff like that.
Wow.
And I'll be there painting live, and it's just just being here. Like, I've been having so much love from this community, like a bunch of friends that I have now. Just a bunch of friends that just kind of and God's been blessing me with a lot of good people.
Yeah.
And I believe in this scripture that says, your gift will make room for you, and it will bring you amongst great men. And that is so true, because, man, I have so many great men in my life that has helped me, and they push me to become better. And it's just, that's what God does for you, man. As long as you surrender and allow him to work with you, and you let go and let him take the wheel, man, he'll just guide you.
That's
And
why you can never live in fear, because if you're going to always
Yes.
live in fear, you're never going to conquer.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
And that's always a positive thing when you can always get over your fears, because then more doors and more opportunity open.
Yes.
Well, let's take this time now to give. Let's start with you. Give a shout out where people can follow you, find you, and let the people know.
Or any family members you
Anybody
guys
wanna
want to
give
give
a
a
shout
shout
out
out
to?
to. We're going to give you guys the floor real quick because we have 5 minutes till.
Sure.
So the floor is your guys.
So on my Instagram, you can find me at CMOS. It's MMMCMOS, as well as my music page, Triple M95. It's TRIPPLEM95. I just want to give a shout out to my team, Something Under Nothing, as well as my business partner, Jay Maya. And then also, again, my website, www.cmos.com. Also want to give a shout out to Chubsy's Smashburger for being one of my biggest supporters too in the very beginning. Also to Family Street Food, Henry and his wife. Really appreciative for you guys having us on tonight, and just thankful for this opportunity.
No problem, brother.
Yes, and man, that's awesome. Yeah, I just want to say, man, you can find me at Empire_Arts_76. I'm there. I usually just post videos every day, or as much as I can. But I get a lot of. You could contact me there, or you could contact me at 909-927-2337. And if you want to book me, you book us. I say book us, but you could book us. And you could come up. We'll come out there and take pictures of your walls, and we'll give you some mock-ups, and we'll let you get a visual of what you're getting for booking us and stuff like that, and we'll just bring your vision come to pass. And I just want to give a shout out to Bobby's World, man. He he's been a good brother to me. He got me to go in there and paint all his offices inside Caltrans for Riverside, and just amazing person, and just everybody there at the Caltrans in Riverside. A lot of love for them, and just a lot of people that's been around and just sharing my artwork. Anthony from Cornerstones, man. I give a shout out to them and to him and his family, and I give a shout out to even Mark, his barbershop. He allowed me to paint all his barbershop, and from him, I've got to know Bobby. I've got to know a lot of good people around me, a lot of good men, strong men that comes out of there. Out of that Bible study, but. I just want to say, man, I just have a lot of love for this place in San Bernardino. And, yeah, you could reach me there or you contact me there on social media.
All right. Well, you guys, thank you for tuning in.
Thank you
That's
for
the
coming,
show.
guys. We
Yeah.
appreciate you
Thank you
guys so
guys.
much
Yes.
for coming in and joining us.
Yeah, thank
we
you.
really want to get together with
Yeah.
you guys and do
No,
something
thank you,
out of
guys.
here. And make something out of this.
Yes,
You know what I mean?
yes.
Let's get together for the youth.
Before we get out, I want to give a big shout out to Prime Quality Printing because
our shirts, guys.
They did our shirts.
Nice.
Yeah, they look really nice.
Man, he did some good work, man. So go follow him on Instagram.
Thank you to MC
guys.
Live for the design as well.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
appreciate
MC
you
Live.
so much. Thank you for everything, you guys. Thank you for tuning in with Family Street Food. And you know, you can always watch us all the time with all the food reviews that we have going on. We appreciate you guys. Family Street Food, and where?
Yes.
Out.
Yes.
KC.